All right, how's everybody doing? Hopefully well. Hopefully not everyone's sick. Um, so as you can see, just on the screen, I'm just sort of organizing some reference for a sculpture I'm about to do. This is one that I did a couple days ago, actually, and it's going to be, time lapse throughout while I talk about things that are going on my channel and try and answer some of the sort of aggregate questions that I get a lot of. Um, so yeah, um, I'll just start with a quick update. I'm doing okay. As I'm sure many of you are totally aware, we're all kind of quarantining ourselves. A lot of people, including myself, lost their jobs. It's not the end of the world, but it's going to be some tough times, and I figured it would be a nice idea to sort of continue working on the YouTube channel and sort of keep myself busy. Um, I am sick. I don't know if it's coronavirus. I don't think it's coronavirus because I'm not very sick, but who knows? Um, I might be one of those people with very low, sort of, with like, very little symptoms. Um, and yeah, so beyond that, uh, one of the things that I was thinking about doing is um, doing like more live streams because I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of time on their hands, and it might be fun to just sort of do a sort of weekday live stream like Monday to Friday where we just do, learn some topics or whatever and hang out. And maybe on the last day, it's just going to be like an art stream where we kind of all just sort of hang out and I'll do some art and you guys can draw or whatever and we'll just chat. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I guess there isn't really a lot of let me know what you guys think time left because I am going to do that tomorrow, Monday the 23rd. And this video is going up today, Sunday the 22nd. So, excuse me. So yeah. Other than that, I guess I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on with my channel and some of the things that I've been thinking about lately. A lot of questions about people wanting me to do multiplayer have come up, and I'm not going to lie to anybody. That was one of my goals originally, but at the same time, I don't really know anything about multiplayer, so I feel like if I do multiplayer, I'm going to have to spend a lot of time learning about multiplayer. And the more I look at that topic, the harder it sort of becomes for me to want to look at the topic. Personally, in terms of like making games, in terms of the types of games that I would want to make, multiplayer is sort of an afterthought usually. Like I guess I'm just more into single player games, but yeah, I don't know. It's it's going to be one of those things where it's a little bit difficult for me to actually get to, and I really don't know if I want to do it. One of the things that I was thinking about is should I do co-op multiplayer, which would be great. I could just sort of set it up so that you can create your own rooms. You can all join as a group and sort of hang out with your friends. But I know that there are a lot of people who are kind of hoping for a more sort of online, massively multiplayer approach, which I just don't have the resources and knowledge to do. And so I just kind of wanted to sort of clear the air on that and let you guys know that that's just one of the big questions that I'm struggling with, and I'm leaning towards not doing it because the spirit of what I was hoping to do is to sort of learn mechanics by trying to replicate mechanics from other games. And I think that that's something that I kind of did with the character controller and the camera. I think I learned a lot, researching those, and trying to trying to solve those problems on my own, I think I learned a lot. But yeah, when it comes to like networking, I don't have any knowledge, and it's kind of one of those daunting topics that I'm not really sure I want to do at all. So I know a lot of people are going to be really upset about this, but it's kind of just how I'm feeling about it. And yeah, it isn't that either that I don't have help, because a lot of people have offered to help, and they're extremely talented people who have done really amazing things with the videos that I've put up. All of them are hanging out in my Discord, which, by the way, the link is in the description if you want to hang out in the Discord. But yeah, it's kind of hard for me to just sort of want to do it. Other than that, the speaking of the spirit of the channel, one of the games that I've been sort of really wanting to try and replicate some things from is the God of War games from the PlayStation 2, and I guess God of War 3 from the PlayStation 3. The reason why I've been wanting to replicate some things from those is because I was playing them one day and I kind of got really inspired by the camera system. I thought it might be really cool to figure out how to implement a camera system so that it sort of becomes more common knowledge how to sort of tell stories in your own games. I mean, it might be really cool to sort of sit down and try and figure something like that out, and I'd like to give it a shot. I'm actually super inspired by God of War and a lot of games from that era of gaming. Like Prince of Persia and that kind of thing. And I just kind of wanted to sort of sit down and try and figure out a system for that sort of cinematic camera that they have. So yeah, I kind of started on that a little bit in terms of like trying to learn it, and I haven't really continued much recently, but that's another video series that I'm hoping to do. And I know that like people who have really wanted me to stick with the World of Warcraft stuff have really wanted me to make sure that I actually do stick with the World of Warcraft stuff and don't just go on and do other things. But this is one of those things that I feel really inspired by, and I'd like to do them. And I think really, if I'm staying true to myself, I think I'm more likely to get to success if I'm doing the things that I actually want to do. So it's not that I don't want to do the World of Warcraft thing, it's just that I've hit a snag and maybe I need a break to sort of like reassess everything. But I am 100% interested in continuing the World of Warcraft videos because I do love World of Warcraft, and I am also very inspired by World of Warcraft. So yeah. Other than that, I guess we can go into sort of the more personal territory. I don't know if that's the right way of describing it, but yeah, since we're all stuck inside, I kind of wanted to know like if you guys had any questions for me. Maybe I can answer them in this next. I could probably make these weekly, so I'm calling it Soup of the Month for now, but I'm gonna change the name to Soup of the Week if I can make these more weekly. And it'd be nice to sort of hear from you guys. Maybe you guys have some questions. Maybe you guys have some suggestions. I've gotten some suggestions for other game types like Mario style games, two-dimensional. And those are some things that I'd definitely be interested in tackling, but with the World of Warcraft thing sort of hanging over my head, it's kind of hard to sort of branch out into different topics. Other than that, if you have any questions about maybe some more art stuff, if you want me to do some art tutorials, any topics that you'd like me to cover, feel free to ask. I'd like to, cater to the people who watch me as well as also stay true to the topics that I really do enjoy. And yeah, I don't know, just drop a question and hopefully I'll be able to answer. I'll be able to make a video on it or something like that. And yeah, maybe you guys could tell me now while you're trapped inside, what do you guys plan on doing? Do you guys plan on playing a lot of video games or watching a lot of movies? Are you going to be exercising, reading books, making games perhaps, learning how to do some art? What are you going to do with all this time that you have? I know it's a stressful time, but these are all things that we have available to us to sort of make things a little bit less stressful. And I want to know if there's any movies that I can watch. And who knows, maybe I can give you guys some suggestions. So, for instance, I just rewatched the Dawn of the Dead 2004 one with Zack Snyder, which is a pretty awesome movie. I can recommend it or not. It's hard to know because if you really think about it, right now we're kind of going through a weird pandemic, and even though it's not quite a zombie apocalypse, it definitely has this sort of tension around it that isn't quite exciting. So maybe a movie like that would be a little too scary for you. Other than that, I don't know. Comedy movies like Tenacious D. I know that one didn't do very well, but that's a movie that I really love. Games. I've been playing Jurassic World Evolution. That one's pretty awesome. I think it's still on sale on Steam. You might have to check, but I got it on sale. It was only like $14, and it's pretty cool. Like it's like a little dinosaur tycoon game where you make your own Jurassic Park, and they break out and they eat people and they get angry. It's pretty cool. It's like it's kind of a game that I've sort of been waiting to play for a very long time as a fan of Jurassic Park. So yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about. I think these were the sort of main topics that I talked about in this video. If you want to know what's going on, I tried to record this video so that I could sculpt and talk to you guys at the same time. And one of the struggles that I came to was that after about an hour, I ran out of topics. And oddly enough, this is roughly where I started running out of topics in the video. So yeah, I guess if that's the case and I've run out of topics, maybe just let me know in the comments what you think about this video. If there's like a way that you think this format would be better. I kind of want to do this as like a sort of update video, and like a means to sort of talk to people and have other people sort of join in on a conversation that we're all sort of having in the comments, because a lot of people aren't going to be reading the comments except for like me and the people who type their comments, but they're going to be looking at their own specific comments. And this might be a really good way to sort of get a feel for, different questions people are asking, and hopefully to encourage more people to join in on the conversation, because this is kind of what I was hoping this channel would be about, is just us sort of all together, talking about things and learning new things. And actually, yeah, maybe I could talk a little bit about the character that's going on screen. So, as I mentioned previously, this is the villain from Tarzan. I actually don't know if I mentioned this, but yeah, this is a villain from Tarzan. And this was just sort of like a sculpt that I was sort of learning from. I've never actually sculpted a character with extreme proportions like this. So, for instance, while I'm doing the hair, you'll see in a moment that I can't quite get the hair right, and the reason why is because the head's so big. The cranium part, at least. And so I'm going to have to do something which I should never do, which is shrink the head and then try and sort of rebuild a lot of the detail that I already had in there, which isn't too difficult, but it is kind of a hassle. So it's, the importance of making sure that when you're sculpting on something that you have all the base shapes down before you start moving on to some of the more smaller forms. But yeah, this was a really fun sculpt, and even if I didn't get exactly right, oh, here it is. Even if I didn't get exactly right, I did learn a lot. I learned quite a bit actually, and this is a type of thing, for instance, that you guys can learn from as well. If you're interested in learning some art or anything like that, making games, trying to do something that someone else has done without sort of copying it one to one, or the best example I would give is tracing while you're drawing. If you're tracing something, you're not really learning anything, but if you're trying to redraw it, then you are more likely learning something. And so something like that you can learn a lot from, and this is what this is about. This is why I chose to do this, because I learned a lot from this. I learned some new things about head proportions and all that kind of stuff, and even though by the end of it there are some mistakes in there, it's not like this was a total loss necessarily. This was actually a pretty fun character to work on, and as you can see, he's really coming together now. So yeah, if you like this type of video, I know the other ones that I did like this weren't really that well received by comparison, but if you like this type of video and you maybe want more like these, where maybe once a week or once a month I just go in and I work on a project, let me know. Let me know in the description. If you have any questions, I can answer them in here as well. I'll probably pick questions that I get a lot of. So yeah, thank you for watching, and please be sure to leave a comment, like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And keep an eye. I'll be working on some stuff and posting that pretty soon.